Pat comes in via PayPal. He writes, peace to you, Chief. Why do you think the queen is more powerful than the king on the chessboard? Appreciate it, Chief. Metaphor or something? You see, we have to remember chess is just a game that was created by a human being. And sometimes human beings are wrong and sometimes they're foolish. Sometimes you read a poem and you're like, oh, what did that mean? And well, maybe it didn't mean anything. Maybe the person who wrote it was an idiot. Maybe the person who wrote it made a mistake. Chess is just a game. Why is the queen more powerful? Is she more powerful? When do you lose the game? You lose the game when you lose the king, right? So is the queen more powerful or is the king more important? Maybe the king doesn't have to, like the queen can make these long jumps and these long moves and move in all these directions. Well, when you're a boss, you really don't have to move. When you're a boss, you don't have to break your neck. You don't have to break a sweat. When you're a boss, everything around you has to move and be active, and they're all doing all these things to protect you. You're the king. You are the powerful one. The whole game is about you. Everyone's moving on the board to protect you or to advance your interests. So is the queen the most powerful one? No. She's the one doing the most moving, exerting energy. That's not powerful. You hear me? Power is like, in the Quran, it says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is to say God, or in the Bible, it says God said, let there be light. And then there was. Out of his word. He ain't have to move. He ain't have to do nothing, right? When you just speak it into existence, that's power. You ain't even got to move. So that's what you need to understand. The queen is expending energy. She's serving. You hear me? She's trying to serve a boss. The boss is just kicking back. That's the power, kicking back. You hear me? What's more powerful, staying at home and working from home in the palace, or having to hop in traffic and drive 2 hours, do all this stuff at your job, and then drive 2 hours home, doing all this movement just to get the, what's more powerful? I'm just trying to kick back. But at the end of the day, people often reference chess to explain life. I rather reference life to explain life. You dig? Like, we don't need to go from the real, which is life, to the metaphor, the chess game, to explain life. So we're leaving life to go to the metaphor, the chess game, to come back to explain life. I'd rather just explain life with life. You hear me? Come on now. Yeah, we getting after it today. Man, I showed up with a magazine with the damn bullets around the arm. I'm reloading and busting it off. I want to share something as we wind down. I want you to always think of yourself in this way, in general, but especially in your relations with women. Because a lot of guys will, at the end of a relationship, they'll tell a chick, they'll lie, or they'll, try to scare the girl. And I hear this a lot. They'll say like, oh, you can't get anybody better than me. Like, that's sucker stuff, whether it's true or not. Like, use a sucker, tell this broad that, man. Let her go on about her business, man. If she's a good woman, wish her the best. Hope that she does encounter someone better than you. And I really do. If I like a young lady and we leave on good terms, I would hope that she finds someone better than me. It's damn near impossible. You hear me? It's damn near impossible. The chances are slim, but I wish the best for her, truly. I would never say something like, you can't find one better. Like, nah, like that. I'm not going to say something like that. That's just crass and negative and hateful. And I'm not that kind of person. Now, are you going to find somebody like me? Like, knock it off, shorty. But that goes without saying. So I'm not going to say it because it goes without saying. So here's the point. Here's the lesson. This is the game. And you don't do this for a woman. You do it for yourself. But you can use this thought to drive your behavior, which is to say, if you really stay on your game, if you stay on the good foot, if you really live this ism out on a regular basis, and you should always try to improve, if you're really living it out, it's going to be so clear at the end of that relationship. And especially when she goes out into that cold world, there ain't nothing like the big homie. No, sirree, Bob. There ain't nothing like that, man. And she, as soon as she gets out in that cold world, she date a few guys, maybe sleep with a few guys. She might find a guy that could sex her better than you could sex her. Because in my case, it's not my focus area. But she's going to spend a little bit of time with these guys, and then they're going to come back beating your door down. Why? Because she's going to realize, like, damn, I had something special, but I didn't even realize it. She's going to get in bed, and he's going to get in bed with her. And she's going to appreciate that because he's there. We're in bed together. Yay. But then she's going to remember, like, Marquette would have worked 2 or 3 more hours And I would have been waiting for him. And then I'd eventually fell asleep. Then he'd have gotten in bed and I'd have been happy that he's there. Then, when the sun's up, I would have woke up and he would have been gone. And I'd kind of been startled, like, yo, where is he? But I'd already knew he's in the office getting it in so we could have a better life. Damn, I never met a man with that much energy. I've never met a man who can go, 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 and he don't get tired. He don't complain. Even if he was tired, I would have never known. They're going to start having experiences with other men and they're going to compare it to the big homie. They go on holiday and the dude is acting like a broad. You're out in Mykonos and, like you keep having, all these fun vacation experiences and it's great. But then she's asking her stuff. She's like, when are you going to go exercise? Because the big homie set that expectation that at some point, like, no, we ain't going to tour nothing. I got to go get this work in. So she's waiting. When are you going to go exercise? Because it triggers her. When you go exercise, that's when she exercises. But you have to lead that. You have to lead that experience. So she's like waiting, like, when's this guy going to go exercise? Oh, it's different. And then you might be out in the world and there's a negotiation to be done. And like, you guys want to get to the front of the line. And like, she realized like, bro, he's not an operator. He don't know how to finesse. He doesn't know how to make things happen. Or, you get to a situation where, Marquette would have talked our way into this. Marquette would have talked us into it and talked us right back out if we need to get out. And she's like, oh, he don't know how to function. He can't influence people. He doesn't have any personal power. And then, so she deals with a couple guys and then she comes back thinking, what did I do? What did I do? I can't find this unique combination of traits in these critical areas of life where a man is a high performer. Yeah, I like a guy to sleep in bed with me, but I also like him to get up out of that bed when the sun rises and get after it. I like a man to be able to work hard to outwork me. I like a man that's going to go exercise no matter where we are, no matter what, if it's a vacation, if his family member is sick, if his homie just died, he's going to go work and exercise. Like I know, like I can trust him because he's a metronome. He doesn't stop. He's a metronome. Just boom, 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 on rhythm, on point. It's reliable. And I know if anything goes wrong, Marquette will not crumble. No, because he's disciplined. It's like, it doesn't matter how he feels. He's going to do what's necessary. So I know if everything's going wrong, he's going to always find a way. He's always going to stay consistent. Even if we became poor, we're going to become rich again. I know that's who he is. These other boys are unreliable. So they get out there in that cold ass world, they're going to come right back. They're going to come right back. But the key is you're dealing with a girl that's smart enough to know that before she goes out in the cold world. But here's the funny thing, ladies and saints, a lot of these broads are goofballs, man. They don't appreciate things when it's too close. It's too close. You don't appreciate it. It's too close, man. You don't appreciate it when it's too close. You can't even see what it really is when it's that close. You dig what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. And people who are constantly comparing themselves to other people, these are persons who are not happy. These are persons that are typically having low self-esteem. You should just compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Am I smarter today? If I didn't exercise yesterday, did I exercise today? My muscles weren't sore after my workout yesterday, are they sore today? Incremental improvement. That's really what you want to focus on. And where you focus is going to define your life. You can have anything you want. Some people focus on getting a house. Some people focus on getting a mansion. They're both probably going to win. You heard me? The person who wanted a house, they get a house and they be happy. The person who wanted to get a mansion, they're going to get a mansion. Is all there is to it. Shout out to Josiah. He writes, needed this game today. Shout out to the ism scholars in a real way, man. We're going to have scholars of ism, man, just destroying everything. Yes, indeedy. So remember that, saints. You want to conduct yourself on a regular basis that makes it abundantly clear that you're the guy that will be impossible to replace. That secures you with her if she has common sense, and most of them do. They don't have emotional stability. And that also just makes you a greater man, and that should be your bigger focus. And we all fall short. And, some broads have low standards. You'd be a fool to be with a broad with low standards, because dig this. I'll be out in the world. You even see a gorgeous woman. She would a dude that has love handles, like actual love handles. And I'm just like, dang, that's crazy. If that girl got with you after being with a dude with love handles, she'll never fully appreciate you because she accepts love handles. You heard me? She'll never fully appreciate the fact that you're chiseled because she'll deal with a dude who's not chiseled. You heard me? So she can easily replace you because she's not there for all of these great characteristics that you have. She's there for the fact that you're nice or some goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So a woman with high standards is as important as you having high standards when we're talking about main pieces, right? I also got some Dr. Phil questions I'm going to add to the Dr. Phil document. And because a lot of people, for some reason, have time challenge using the search feature on the member site on Patreon or the member site, just use the search feature. Type in Dr. Phil, DR, and then PHIL. It'll come right up. But regardless, for all of you who are members, we got a new month of membership. I'm going to add in these Dr. Phil questions I got noted here, and we'll probably do some review on some of that game because I think a lot of you guys, you're not scrolling all the way back, and there's years of exclusive content. There's literally years. There's hundreds of videos. And I want to go back to some of that old game, which is just extraordinary, and just chop it up and give you a refresh on it. So this is Hustle Mania. It's going to be Hustle Mania for 13 months. I want you to see me getting stronger, see us getting more organized, see us adding to the team, see us taking huge risks, huge failures, huge wins. It's big boss season out here. You dig? Hustle Crow out here, man.
Shout out to Hef. He writes, big money talk. Yes, indeed. It's only one way to talk, only one way to live. Big. Carrying on.
Here's another thing that will help you figure out what stage you're at with the female. What she will and will not do for you will let you know what stage you're at with her. What, like, if you make a request of her. So here's the funny thing. It used to be that if you smash, you pretty much know, like, okay, shorty's in love, or she's like really interested, she's invested. I can make some demands, I can make some requests. Nah, bro, she been smashed a million times. You hear me? The only way you can figure out if she's really down for you is by asking for her service or for her money, right? If she's not going to put some dollars down, put some greenbacks down, if she's not going to invest some service, she's not really down for you. Any woman today will invest her body. That's garbage. They'll give you that. They'll give that to anybody. The service is another level, and then the money is the highest level. Not because money is highly valuable, but because women are very parsimonious and stingy. That's why they're stingy. So if they'll give you some of their money, they really messing with you. Guys will give up their money freely because they're tricks and they're thoughtless. So that's how you have to acknowledge that we're different. If a man gives you money, it don't really mean much. If a woman gives you money, it means a lot because they're stingy and parsimonious. If a woman gives you her body, it don't really mean much. If a guy gives you his body, it doesn't really mean much because they don't have any damn standards. If a woman gives you service, it means something. If a man gives you service, it doesn't mean as much because guys are used to, they're calibrated around taking care of others. They're the provider. So they'll provide service, they'll provide money. A lot of these things thoughtlessly and indiscriminately. There we go. Come on now. A lot of you guys are scared to be honest with the woman for fear of losing her. You're scared to set standards, thinking that she'll be skittish and she'll run off because you're enforcing rules. But that's actually not the case. The truth is, just like children, human beings, male, female, and children, all seek out structure. They all appreciate good leadership. That's why the United States and every other government has a leader, be it a prime minister or a president. That's why all teams have a structure: team captain, point guard, center. Everyone has a role. And this is since time immemorial. We've known that this is how things become efficient. And this is how human beings like to operate. Confucius speaks of the four basic relationships, which are hierarchical, and they should all be honored, which is to say, king and subject, husband and wife, older sibling and younger sibling, boss, employee, whatever the case may be. Respect your position. Those positions need to be established, clarified, and also if you're in the higher position, you need to honor that. I remember when I was a young boy, they talk about, respect your elders. Well, what if my elders are degenerate, drug addict imbeciles? Well, should I still respect them? In reality, no, but fools will tell you yes. So that's why I always admonish all of you guys that if you are in a higher position in a hierarchy, whether you're the man or you're a boss, you're an employer, whatever the case is, you need to honor the fact that you're in that position. You need to perform at a high level. You need to show people why you're the man in power, okay? Not because people gave you a title, but because you really inhabit the skill set and the value add. Come on now. May I also acknowledge Damien, who just went to mdblabel.com, just copped the black backpack briefcase. And this is adult drip. This is conversation starting drip. You dig? Like if you're a grown man, meaning 18 years or older, and you wear JanSport backpacks, like bro, that's out. Listen to me, man. Wouldn't be caught dead on a flight with like a regular backpack. You hear me? Like I'll pull out the straps on this one and turn this briefcase to a backpack. And his leather is looking good with my fit because I'm an adult. This is the kind of thing that women, they approach you on and they start conversations and they notice it because it's a unique piece. Everything you do should be remarkable, meaning people have to speak up on it. They have to make a remark. Don't do anything regular. It's just not worth your time. You heard me? It's being regular. Why do that? Please stop. People out here wearing JanSport backpacks. Knock it off. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. Anyways, but you guys stray away from setting standards with the woman, giving your rules, asking her to behave correctly. Now, here's the funny thing. You think she's going to leave. She's not going to leave because of that. She's going to leave because she doesn't really like you or she doesn't really mess with you. And that's really a good thing to get her out of the way if she's not really down for you, down for your cause. And you would have seen this on a number of social media websites last night. I posted like, don't call me a king if you're not going to treat me like a king. Women are often throw this around. I'm a queen. You're my king. No. Don't call me a king unless you're going to treat me like a king. And you should view me as a king. I'm the guy you chose to be with. And if you view yourself as a queen, surely you want a king. But remember this, queen, just like the subjects, are subject to the king. The king rules over. The king is above. Here's the queen, here's the king. And that doesn't mean that you're nothing. That doesn't mean you're not valuable, but that just means that the king is the king. Treat the king as the king. Regard him as the king. Often women and people are paying lip service, but there's no substance. They don't really mean it. They don't really respect you at that level. And you want to be around people who can actually see you and respect you according to the true value you have and the value that you can add. So don't call me a king unless you're going to treat me like a king. And gentlemen, you should all be worthy of that treatment. You should have the merits. Now, we all know that kings are selected by divine right, but I think you understand the metaphor here. So I want to go back to the point that I'm identifying, and clearly, I'm drawing it out because it's that important. And sometimes you have to draw things out so that, and like, even if you read the Quran, there's certain things that are repeated constantly. It's like they keep saying it. And that's because it's important. You need to soak it up. In the case of establishing order with a woman, you're scared to do it because you think she'll leave. She never leaves because of the rules. She never leaves because of the standards. She leaves because she doesn't love you as much as she should or she thought. She doesn't respect you that much. She doesn't have as much an attraction to you. There's something missing. That's why she rebelled against it. Because women are love bugs. If they love you, they'll do pretty much whatever you tell them to do. And they'll try to do a good job at it. When you find that they're incompetent and rebellious, either they're just not a good woman, they won't be a good woman to anyone, or they don't really care about you that much. That's all that is. They'll try to adjust. That's why you'll often hear women say this silly thing, which has some truth to it, but they usually are misapplying it. They'll say after they get out of a relationship, oh, I lost myself. Well, what does that really mean? That means that I stopped trying to be all about me and I went into that man. I tried to serve him. I tried to become what I thought he wanted me to be, which is what you should do. Don't become someone else, but serve him in the way that he wants. Join his family, join his program, follow his culture. That's what you're supposed to do. Even if you look at the aristocrats historically and the aristocracy and royalty, you might be a German princess and go marry a guy, an English king, or you might be a French duchess and go marry a Russian czar. You're going into his culture. You're going to live under his land, his law, his name, his language, his religion. You're going into his land. You're not going there to be you and to, dominate. No, you're going to become a bit of him. And that's why when the woman comes out of the relationship, she says, oh, I lost who I was. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go and find out who he is, operate in his way. That's what you're signing up for. And this is single woman language when they say things like, oh, like now I'm rediscovering myself, which is to say, I'm diving deeper into narcissism and being self focused because I don't get along well with others. I don't know how to serve a man. And rather than figuring out what's wrong with me and how to be more agreeable and likable and easy to get along with, I think I'd rather just be alone and focus on myself and feeding my cats. That's what that really means. Huh?